evening. I hereby call this regular meeting of the Nacogdoches ISD Board of Trustees to order. Let the record show that a quorum is present, and the notice of the meeting was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Board members James Irvin and Callie Pitcock are unable to attend the meeting with us this evening. Please remember that the items do not have to be taken in order shown, and I would appreciate you turning your cell phones to silent mode. We thank you for joining us. The board will now conduct an executive session, closed session, to discuss the items posted on the agenda pursuant to the following provisions of the Texas Open Meetings Act and as allowed by the Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.0.72, 551.074, and 551.129. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussions in a closed session will take place after the board convenes in open session. It is now 5:01. We'll be back till 6 o'clock. Okay, we will. Meeting into open session. The time is 6 o'clock. I've asked Mindy Winslow to give her invocation tonight. Mindy?
Okay. If you'll bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you so much for this day and for your blessing and for the gift of your Son, Jesus. Father, I just ask that you be with each of us tonight. Help us, guide us into the decisions that are going to be great for our kids. Father, I thank you for the folks who have come today and for our children and for our teachers. Father, just, gosh, I just thank you for everything. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledges to the flags. Principal of McMichael School, Gerald Fonzie, and the students will be leading the pledges to the flags tonight. Mr. Fonzie, please come to the podium and tell us about the students that are here with you tonight.
Good evening, Vice President Montoya, Board, and Dr. Trujillo. And so we have a great group of students here to help us lead the pledge today, and I'm going to call them up. Come on up. They're a little shy. All right, that's good. And their sponsors, if they're here, you guys are going to face them. All right. And so I'm going to let them introduce themselves and kind of tell you a little bit about them and what programs they're part of.
Hi, I'm Zion. I'm a part of the choir at our school. I got into regionals, and my part is alto to soprano.
All right.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and I'm part of the cheer squad, and I am also in one act.
Hi, my name is Ava. I'm also part of cheer, and I do cross country and track and athletics.
Hi, my name is Oriana, and I am a cheerleader.
My name is Hannah, and I'm also a cheerleader, and I'm on the basketball and volleyball team.
Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm here with Student Council. I'm a cheerleader, and I was a volleyball player.
Hi, my name is Lexi. I am a part of Student Council. I'm a part of the basketball and softball team.
My name is Paisley, and I'm on the cheer team and volleyball team.
My name is Yamile. I'm part of the cheer team, and I'm a band student.
My name is Daniel, and I'm part of Student Council.
My name is Luis Martinez. I'm a part of Student Council and in GT.
My name is Strider. I made Region Choir, and I'm in GT.
All right. And if I can have Mr. Dominguez and Ms. Sanchez come join us there. Ms. Sanchez is the cheer sponsor, and so she works with the girls a lot on our cheer. And then Mr. Dominguez here is our choir, and this is the first year for McMichael to have a choir, and we're very proud of what they've accomplished. So. Wow. All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Mr. Fonzie, if
Yes,
I
sir.
could
Hold on, guys.
have
Hold
the
on.
parents of the kids that are here tonight, are their parents here with them?
Yes, we have some
If you're
parents
here,
here with
please
us.
stand.
Yeah.
Thank you. This says so much about our parents that are supporting our kids in our school district to get educated and have every opportunity they can to be successful. So parents, thank you. Keep it up. Thank you. And students,
Thank you.
keep going, okay?
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Wait until the directors come.
You want the teachers?
All right, look right here, guys. 1, 2, 3. Hold on, one more for good luck. 1, 2, 3.
young man.
Okay, let's see what's next.
Rick?
Boy, the room cleared out.
That emptied out our chairs pretty fast, didn't it?
The room cleared out for something.
We'll now go to the superintendent's announcements. Now we turn to Dr. Trujillo for this month's good news.
Mr. Montoya and board, just to get some information to you, pretty exciting. Tuesday night, industry professionals join Nacogdoches High School Career and Technical Education staff on the Tuesday for a time to share information and ideas. The CTE Advisory Board meeting was an opportunity for Nacogdoches area professionals to advise NISD on staffing and instructional needs they see in the areas of their expertise. Our CTE program, guided by the director, Coy Van Valkenburg, offers 17 four-year programs for NISD students that include more than 70 courses led by 27 teachers. Programs of study include animal science, applied agriculture, engineering, architecture, design, automotive, carpentry, cosmetology, and personal care services, culinary arts, cybersecurity, engineering, graphic design, and multimedia arts, health, informatics, I've not heard of that before, health informatics, healthcare, therapeutic, law enforcement, marketing, sales, military science, and teaching and training. NISD students completing a program of study can obtain an industry-based certification that can be that leads straight to the workforce and translates into the experiences valued by the colleagues and colleges and universities. Tuesday night was a great example of NISDs working closely with our business partners to understand what they see in their industries and what they need from graduates beginning to enter the workforce. Great job to Miss is she here? Where's she at? How do you say your last name again?
Van Valkenburg.
Okay, I call her Coy. Van Valkenburg. Thank you for all the work you do, Coy. And our CT faculty. Last Friday, 4 Nacogdoches High School seniors signed their names on a dotted line during a ceremony held in the auditorium. Swimmer Ava Whitaker, pitcher Justin Bradford, softball player Jaharia Fletcher, and soccer player Kinsley Valtoro inked letters of intent during the early signing period. Whitaker, owner of 5 school swim records, will attend Indiana University on an athletic scholarship. Bradford, who went 9-2 with a 1.26 earned a run average as a junior hurler for the Dragons baseball team, will remain close to home after signing with Stephen F. Austin University. Valtoro will attend Nicole State in Thibodaux, Louisiana next year on a scholarship. Fletcher, a member of the Dragons softball team that won 17 games, earned a playoff berth, will attend SFA on an athletic scholarship. So congratulations to these athletes that are here with us in the high school. Today, I hosted another round of the NISD ambassadors. It was second to the last time. The group of stakeholders sat in a roundtable discussion that explored our why, and we do what we do, wrapped around services provided by the district and the advocacy opportunities we provide our students. During lunch, our ambassadors heard from our pre-K, elementary, and secondary campus principals about what their visions are for their campuses and our district. Our next class is December 15th, which will include recognition and reception of our first class to graduate from this program. So we want to congratulate those folks who are spending their time with us during this year. We're entering the holiday season next week. There's no way I can overstate the good work everyone with Nacogdoches ISD has been a part of to date. At this time of Thanksgiving, NISD wishes all of you and your loved ones safe travels, very safe travels. We want everybody to come back, and a wonderful holiday. On a personal note, I offer you my own thank you, and our students are fortunate for everyone and everything that is Nacogdoches Independent School District. With that, that's what I've got, Mr. Montoya.
That moves us to our next item on the agenda, public comment. We will now hear public comments. Those wishing to address the board during public comment should have emailed a request to the district administration at nisd.org or turned in a public comment request form to the district support center by 4 p.m. today. This revised procedure was included and made part of the meeting notice. We have one request today. The time limit will be 3 minutes for each person addressing the board, and the Deputy Superintendent, Michael Martin, will keep time for us. We have tonight Ms. Brandy Jones. Is she here? Okay.
Good evening. It's Brandy Davis. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my mistake. Brandy Davis.
Okay, so as a parent, I have a question about the student code of conduct. I've emailed several staff members. I would like for someone to show me in the student code of conduct. I have 3 children in ISD. I look at the student code of conduct every year when I go through and do their returning student. I would like for someone to show me in the student code of conduct where it states every student automatically is to be charged with disorderly conduct in an incident of fighting. Where it also states that no student is looked at as an individual. No offense is looked at on an individual basis. Even if a student has a disability, no other disciplinary actions, and no intent. Like I said, I've emailed, I've called, I've asked several staff members. No one will either, there's no answer, there's no response, or no one will get back to me and show me that. And that is what my concern is, that's what my comment is, that's my request. As a parent, I would like for someone to show me that. Thank you.
Thank you. That takes us to our next item on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. Unless removed from the consent agenda, all items listed will be acted in one motion. If there is a board member who wishes to discuss an item on the consent agenda separately, please indicate the agenda letter and it will be set aside for further discussion and separate vote. At this time, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Montoya, I move the board approve the consent agenda.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Thank you. It moves us to our discussion and action agenda. We will now proceed with the items from the discussion action portion of the agenda. Consideration of the annual school district audit for fiscal year 2021-2022. Presenter Lisa Barbert. Ms. Barbert?
Tonight is our annual board financial statement report, and Darla Derwick developed our checklist.
I don't think that mic is on. I don't think the mic is on, or...
They may have turned it off.
My husband would tell you I probably don't need the mic.
Oh, I can hear you good.
And I'm Darla Deere, here to present your annual financial report. So I'll go over the 3 most important pages out of the audit, but I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay.
If you will flip with me to page 7, this is the page that we consider the most important out of our audit. That's where we issue our opinion. You've received an unmodified opinion. That is the highest level of assurance that you can receive, that there are no material misstatements and all disclosures have been made in your audit. So congratulations on your unmodified opinion. Now we're going to flip to page 36 and 37 and look at your revenues and expenditures for the year. And we're going to focus in on the general fund column. You'll notice that on, that's going to be row 1,000. I'm going to pull out the glasses for this since we're going to be reading the numbers. And I flipped you to the wrong page. We're going to go over to, that's your assets and liabilities. I see, I should have put those glasses on sooner. We're going to flip to page 30 and 31. We're looking at your revenues and expenditures for the year. On line 5020, total revenues in the general fund, $64,303,545. Coming down to line 6030, total expenditures for the year, $52,287,146,000, leaving you a positive net change to your fund balance of $11,916,399, leaving you an ending fund balance of $46,644,741. Now, one of the things that we look at when we do an audit is we compare your total expenditures to your ending fund balance. What we would say for a minimum fund balance would be 90 days that you would carry, that would be a minimum amount. You're sitting at about 89%, a little over 89%. That gives you a little over about 10 and a half months of expenditures in that fund balance. So you have a very nice, healthy fund balance. So, you know, there's, as far as looking at that balance on the fund balance that you have, you know, with the economy and the way that the state of Texas does their revenues, that's a nice, healthy one to roll into that next year with, not knowing where we're going with those other revenues. So I'll flip you now to page. We're going to look at page 77. It's going to be your general fund budget. So one of the things that we look at when we're comparing the budget is we focus in on the expenditure section, and we compare the actual expenditures to your final budget. And so you'll notice in that far right-hand column that all of those variances are positive variances, so you came in well under budget. So looking at the line 6030 on the total expenditures, you came in under budget of $8,337,992. So great job on that. So that's what we consider the three most important pages, but I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Any board member have any questions? No, I'd just like to say, Ms. Barbick, you knocked it out of the ballpark again.
It's too many numbers for me.
Thank you. Thank you for your due diligence in keeping us afloat. Well, maybe not even floating, maybe flying at this point, right? Thank you so much.
And I would also like to thank you very much for the work the business office gives. They do a great job in providing us the information. We couldn't do this without all the information, and we ask for a lot of information when we're doing the audits.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No questions? Okay.
What, you want a motion?
I'd like to have a motion that we accept the audit as provided.
I guess I'll go ahead. I move the board approve the annual fiscal report for fiscal year 21-22.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if y'all need anything, just let us know.
All right.
Thank you.
Safe travels.
The only thing we need to put some more zero next to it.
That brings us to our next item, reports. Tonight, we have two reports, starting with the bond construction update. Presenter, Michael Martin.
Good evening, Vice President Montoya, members of the board, Dr. Trujillo. It gives me great pleasure and honor to present this afternoon the bond construction updates. I will let the board know that we did a very similar presentation to our C-BRIC back on November the 8th. and I think they were pretty happy with what they saw. Tonight, we're going to take a look. We're going to go back about to 2018, and we're going to move forward. So let's get started. As usual, we start out with our timeline that Mr. Army Curtis produces for us. He, Mr. LaRue, and Cindy Robertson get together, put this timeline together. The majority of our projects are complete. We've got 2 major projects still out there, still being worked on. If you'll recall, the first project that the district completed for the bond projects was the Transportation Center. And here are just some pictures of before and what it looks like now. Put in a new fuel station, wash bays, paved the parking lot, restriped it, refenced it. Here's a photo of our transportation workers. If you recall, during the bond, we wanted to improve our facilities both for our students and also our employees. Here's a great picture of our employees. They're very thankful for the space that we've provided them through this bond process. The Transportation Department was celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month on this particular day. Moving on. The District Support Center was the next project that we began working on, and we purchased the building formerly known as the Burke Building, and Mr. Army Curtis, Mr. LaRue, they got together, come up with a plan, and got to working on it. Started renovating that building. Just some shots from a few years ago, a couple of years ago, to what it looks like now. Again, a wonderful workspace for our employees, a wonderful place for our community to come and visit. And again, from all the employees at the District Support Center, we say thank you. New Emmeline Carpenter. There was a ribbon cutting held out there at the New Emmeline Carpenter where it sits now. There was nothing but dirt and a big hole out there, if you recall. It was a wonderful day. We brought over all the existing Carpenter kids that were going to the old Carpenter school, had a ribbon cutting, and the dirt started moving. And soon after that, the concrete started to be poured.
Oh, my dad, you got some good animation.
Well, I've got some credit to give at the end of this. Also, again, a lot of the photos that you're seeing in this presentation were provided by Mr. LaRue, who was on the scene of these jobs early in the morning when they were pouring concrete and doing other parts of the projects. On March the 31st, we had a ribbon cutting for Emmeline Carpenter. It was a wonderful day. We all looked forward to August to see our kids come in those doors, to see those faces. The board was on hand. Reverend James Irvin, president of the board, gave a speech. Ms. Lindsay McInich was there. Mayor Jimmy Mize was there to address the crowd. And Dr. Trujillo also addressed the crowd and gave a history of Emmeline Carpenter. This project is complete and in full service. Final closeout is in process between PBK and WRL contractors, and final verification of the HVAC control sequences, balancing, and other items are under review. There are some warranty items that are being tracked and resolved on an item-by-item basis. And you'll hear this throughout this presentation for all of the major projects. Again, that first day of school rolled around. Those classrooms are ready, thanks to our Plant Services Department, our teachers and staff at Emmeline Carpenter, and just about everybody who came in and lent a hand with what we call at the time the big move. We had a lot of moving parts going on this past summer. And the result are those smiling faces that we see there up in the upper right-hand corner. Students were excited, happy to come to school. You can see there in the bottom left, the Dragon Cafe, teachers having lunch there inside of the new cafeteria area. And again, we say thank you to our board and our voters. McMichael Middle School project was to add on an additional wing, combine both middle schools into one, and add some additional classrooms and some other spaces. Construction began there. There were a few setbacks, as you all are familiar with, but we made it through. We had, you'll see the science labs on the left, the new science labs. You'll see the new corridor, the new hallway on the bottom right. A lot of work was actually done over at McMichael. This project also is complete and in full service. Closeout with between PBK and the WRL is in process, and HVAC installation from this past summer is undergoing a final review. But there's more. Board, thank you again. You just approved for some restrooms out at the McMichael football field track section back there on the back. Ralph and Army and crew went out for bids for this project, this restroom addition project. And we presented it on Monday to the board, and you all approved it tonight, so we appreciate you approving it. And I'm sure that construction will get on the way pretty soon. Again, this is just a conceptual drawing of what McMichael was supposed to look like. Looks pretty much like it was going to be on the picture there. And the project is complete. The new Malcolm Richter's CTE Center. It is complete. Final closeout is in process with PBK and WRL. Warranty items are being tracked and resolved on an item-by-item basis. There was also a renovation in the existing high school of the CTE spaces. A lot of work took place out here at this site as well. Nacogdoches ISD had a grand opening celebration ribbon cutting on April the 12th, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce at the Malcolm Richter Center for Advanced Careers and Innovation. The new facility opened earlier in the year so that we could move our students and classrooms out there so that we could begin our renovations inside of the existing high school. On hand, you can see Representative Clardy there. You see Mrs. Rector in the middle there cutting the ribbon. And in the bottom right picture, you can see Mrs. Rector with her sons. It's a great day. Again, from our students, our staff, we say thank you. The renovations took place in the automotive, wood shop, other areas in the existing high school. These are just a few shots of those areas now. I would encourage you to go out sometime and take a look. It is very different than what it was, and I know one or two of you either work there or attended school up there, and it is totally different. You would not recognize that area back there in the back if you were to go in there today. It is a very nice area. Again, just more pictures of the renovations, small engine repair, robotics. Again, we say thank you. Moses Elementary. We converted over the summer, basically, Mike Moses Elementary, or Mike Moses Middle School into Mike Moses Elementary. Again, Mr. Curtis, Mr. LaRue, and their staffs did a wonderful job moving everybody around the district, as well as getting with the contractors and making sure that we were able to start school on time. There are our happy kids. Fredonia Pre-K Center. Work proceeds on that campus. Renovation of Fredonia started in June, and classrooms have been stripped down to the walls. The school's being converted into an early childhood center for pre-K students to begin classes in August of 2023. It's scheduled to be completed in December of 2023. Just to remind you all what all we're doing over there, just minor renovations, some parking improvements, which took place last year. The new auto loop and new auto drop-off, remove the existing portables, and then convert the playground area on the back. Some photos, again, you've probably seen these of just the expansion of the loop drive under construction. Here is renovations starting in the classrooms, hallways, the new playground on the back side of the school. Classrooms. Classrooms are nice, color-coded. A lot of creativity went into these classrooms, the design of these classrooms. And then the Dragon Stadium press box renovation. The press box renovation project was open for bids on October the 13th, 2022, and construction is scheduled to start on January the 20th, January of 2023, and completed June of 2023. What are we doing? Well, here's the conceptual drawing of the press box. This is the home side. A lot of work will be done here on this side, and as well as to the parking lot. The whole parking lot will be resurfaced, relit with new lighting. Also included in the bid was the resurfacing and restriping of the parking lot in front of the existing high school. We thank you, board, for voting on that tonight as well. Our plan is to add a visitor site press box, a smaller version of the large press box, to gain space on our home side. So this is not what ours will look like, but very similar to what it would look like when it's finished up in our colors. And then we thought we'd take a look at just some of the many students that use this facility throughout the school year. This is a very high-use facility and well worth us investing in moving forward and with these upgrades. Also included in the bond was some priority maintenance projects. TJR We had a water main replacement, kitchen plumbing replacement, theater technology, lighting projects, all of that has been completed. At VQJ, we had HVAC replacement and kitchen roof. It's been completed. Regay, we had some HVAC replacement and water main replacements. Again, all of that's been completed. Nacogdoches High School Fieldhouse, HVAC replacement. Def Ed, HVAC and equipment and re-roofing, that's on hold right now. We're going to come back and revisit that. The Martin Building and Old Carpenter demolition. Preliminarily, we have overviewed the scope and demolition of both of the buildings, and we are finalizing a scope and schedule to present to superintendent and the board. And then Nacogdoches High School, the chiller replacement went out for bid and scheduled for construction in the summer of 2023. The ninth grade center replacement is complete and in service. And now I will yield the floor to Mrs. Barber to talk about the numbers.
Good evening again. This report is as of October 31st of 2022, and it is split between 2 pages, and among the 2 pages there are 4 sections. So the first section is all our projects that are completed. And in looking at that, you see the original bond amount for these completed projects totaled $14.4 million. The actual cost of these projects was $10.7 million, and we had a savings of, I believe that says $3.7 million. The next section is projects moved to ESSER funds. So as you know, we received ESSER funds, which allowed us to upgrade and put in special ventilation because of COVID. And we were able to move these 3 projects out and use ESSER funds, which saved $7.8 million to be used elsewhere, which we needed desperately. So between these 2 sections, we had a realized savings of $11.6 million. I'm sorry, I can't hardly see that. So on page 2, we have projects with contracts on the top, and then on the bottom, projects without a bid. So on our projects with contracts, some of those are, you'll see Carpenter and Fredonia and projects that are pretty much complete. But because we have some final things to do, final payments have not been made, they have not been made yet. So there you see the original bond amount of a certain amount.
Ms. Barber, would you like to?
And in the expected savings or deficit column is a deficit of over $8 million. So there, that's where that savings from our ESSER funds came in real handy. And then the final section is our projects without a bid, where some of them actually, when I did this, we didn't have a bid, but since then, I believe you have approved some of them, is that correct? Yeah. So between these last projects, we are expecting a deficit of about $800,000. And so then we've come down to our final numbers. And at the bottom, you'll see the original bond budget of $77.9 million. And the amended contracts, or our soft costs or actual costs, coming out to $75 million. And then, and that is at a savings of $2.3 million, I believe that says. And then we have a line item for interest, where we earned $1.7 million in interest over since we got the funds. And so we are looking at a surplus of $4.1 million to be used on something else that will be determined later. Any questions on this?
Questions, board? No?
Mr. Montoya, if I may add, on November 6, 2018, 8,533 Nacogdoches residents came out and voted in support of this bond.
Yes.
Mr. Fraley sat in this very chair right here and guided that tremendous effort, and my greatest gratitude to Mr. Fraley and the board, some of which are sitting here, and to the voters that came out and supported this great initiative for the children of Nacogdoches and for the teachers in this district and for this community. And with that, we take great pride and celebrate great custodial responsibility with regards to the finances. Mr. LaRue, I don't see him out there, but Mr. LaRue, a huge thank you navigating this. Lisa, we could not have done this without you crunching the numbers and keeping us honest with this. Mr. Martin, the tremendous efforts that you've done in keeping the community, Seabrick, informed and in every step that we've had. We could not have done this without the tremendous efforts, the collective efforts of the community, the interim superintendent at the time, Mr. Fraley, and if you look at those pictures, he's in every one of those photos because he had a great item to do, and I have a great appreciation in extending that invitation for him to come back and celebrate that with us. So I celebrate this, but also want to share with the community how much we appreciate their support, genuinely from our hearts, that will touch the lives of thousands of kids from here and into the future. So we're excited about the future, and we've got a couple of things to put a nail on to get done. And that's with COVID, Snowmageddon, and floods all happening, and the price of merchandise. So a big kudos to the team for navigating this and doing a tremendous job. I just wanted to share that with folks.
Dr. Trujillo, you stole my thunder. I was going to say, Mr. Martin, you keep thanking the board. All we did say, yes, we need it. That's all we did. We should thank those people who spearheaded and gained the trust of the community, and the community who trusted the region. So those deserve more thanks than I sit here and this rest of us. And also, thanks goes to Ralph and Mr. Curtis as well, because they were always there, and they nitpick on every little things that they could. Thank you.
I'd like to also include our administrators, principals and stuff that had to move and get people to work and stuff. You guys have done a tremendous job, and that's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. I wish it had been like that when I was working for NISD. Boy, that would have been fun.
Well, you all stole my thunder. Wasn't quite finished. Some special thanks, and you all have already thanked these folks. I really would like to thank Mr. LaRue, Cindy Robertson, and Mr. Curtis. They have worked tirelessly to make sure that these projects, and Coach, you're right, they nitpick everything. We said hours after hour, and they pick through everything. They're very meticulous, but they have the community's best interests at heart.
Absolutely.
And we certainly appreciate the work that they have done. So this is what this was all about.
You never look back, but you never forget all the ones who love you in the place you left. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake, and always give more than you take, but more than anything, yeah, more than anything.
Very nice.
Two more thank yous, and I'll be done. A huge thank you to Ms. Holly Anderson.
Yes.
For the work she has put into this as well, and Ms. Denise Ochoa for the work that they have done. Want to thank you all. Thank you, principals. Thank you, administrators. Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That brings us to item B on our reports, NISD mobile app demonstration by Les Leinberger.
Good evening, Vice President Montoya, board members, Superintendent Trujillo. Bear with me just a moment. We had to make a hardware change just a moment ago. I need to attend to a little bit of house cleaning over here, so give me just a couple of minutes.
Are we going to have Mr. Martin time?
All right, sorry about that. I was in that control room quietly panicking, wondering if I could come in and interrupt Michael's presentation so I could do all of that, but I thought that was probably not the best direction to take. Back in 2020, we began talking with the firm Aptigee about hosting our website. At the time, we were working with another vendor, and we felt like it was time for an upgrade and to make some changes with the services we were receiving. And as you might imagine, there are a number of vendors out there that provide this kind of service. But through a couple of different paths, I had actually already started talking with a rep with Aptigee, Dr. Trujillo, unbeknownst to me and unbeknownst to either one of us, also talked with one. So we ended up visiting with them, and I involved Kirsten Morris, Director of Technology, who also is our campus webmaster, or our district webmaster. She got involved, and quite, almost immediately we saw some real advantages that could be had. And this was probably towards the end of 2020. We still had roughly another year and a half on the contract we were in at the time. But, and while that was a bit frustrating that we couldn't go ahead and make the change, it did give us time, especially for Kirsten, to work with Apogee to design our website, and more importantly, to work on the app that we now use as well. And the app is what we're going to take a look at tonight. And it is on the Apple Store if you're an iPhone user, and it is also on the Google Play Store if you are an Android phone user. And the app can be downloaded by, if you go to either one of those stores and you type in Nacogdoches ISD TX, it will pop up. It will be right there at the top, and you can go ahead and download it then. Or, and I don't know how many board members have already downloaded the app, but if you haven't yet, here's a QR code if you're an Android phone user.
Can we do it now?
You can do it now if you want to.
What's an Android?
And also,
I believe Kirsten pushed this to us already.
all right, well, great. If you're an iPhone user, there's a QR code there that will take you to the Apple Store and directly to the app to where you can download it.
Mindy, I think you got to scan that one.
So far, we've got roughly 1,500 users have downloaded the app. A little more than 1,000 are iPhone users. The remaining roughly 500 are Android users. So I encourage you, if you haven't already, and it looks like most of you all have, download the app. And that's going to lead here. I'm going to step over here and launch this instructional video. That this video also, if you don't follow it along here, it is on the district's YouTube channel as well.
Introducing the brand new app for Nacogdoches Independent School District on Android and iPhone. It's everything Nacogdoches ISD in your pocket. This is the home screen. Tap the schools icon in the bottom right to select a specific school. Tap the 3 horizontal lines in the bottom left to see all the menu items. To turn on push notifications, tap Settings and select Push Notifications. The Events section shows a list of events throughout the school. You can use this button to add an event to your calendar, or tap here to share the event with friends and family. The feed is where you'll find updates from administration about what's going on throughout the school, whether that's celebrating a student's success or reminding you about an upcoming deadline. Search Nacogdoches ISD Texas in the App Store or Play Store to explore the app for yourself. It's everything Nacogdoches ISD in your pocket.
Now, communications through this app and on the website, it comes from a couple of different areas. Anything considered district level, like yesterday we sent out communication as a reminder about, hey, Thanksgiving break's getting ready to start. It's going to run from Monday to Friday. Monday, the following Monday of November 28th, that's a student holiday, but it's a teacher and staff work day, and then everybody will be back on Tuesday, November 29th. I handle those. I run those from our office. The campuses can do the similar things that are just campus specific. And from time to time, on rare occasions, I'll jump in and help a campus as well if something's come up that they need to push out that's pertinent to that campus, but not the entire district. because, if you've got a couple of kids at the high school, you probably don't want to hear about everything going on at one of the elementary schools. So there's things that come out of my office, and then there's things that come from the campus as well, that they can communicate that are taking place there that might not be of general interest to everybody. Now, I'm going to step over here, and we're going to schedule a notification. This is basically a similar notification that we sent out yesterday about the holiday. We're just going to do this on the live feed and as a push notification, because I don't know that everybody wants to get another phone call with on their cell phone or a text message tonight. So let me step over here. And when I'm getting ready to enter something, this is the screen that I see here. So we want to do the live feed, and we want to do push notification. Now, since this is something, a reminder of interest to the entire district, we're going to send it to everyone. All right. Let's see. Hopefully that is still on there. All right. There's the message we're going to send. Dear NISD parents and stakeholders, this is a reminder that NISD will be closed for Thanksgiving break. We'll send this out. This will appear in the live feed for all the campuses and the district. You can see the push notification groups here as well as the district level. And it's 7 o'clock. If it was later this evening, I was going to wait and schedule this for sometime in the morning. But we're going to go ahead and push this out now.
Got it.
And there it is on my phone.
Got it.
Right there.
Anybody else in the audience get it? Oh, look at all those hands up.
Just a happy reminder. I don't think, staff won't mind getting that reminder a second time that Thanksgiving break is coming up. One of the great things about going to this vendor here that we've discovered is it's so much easier for us to use behind the scenes. The other vendor that we had used for some time and provided a good product, but it was pretty complicated to post something. In fact, Kirsten would always remind me that I pretty much just needed to stay off of that website because I would create a problem and then she would spend half an hour having to correct it. So we're much more comfortable with an old guy like me getting on this one to post things and to share things. And that's really helped us out. Here's hoping we don't have any snow during this winter. I, for one, got a lifetime worth of snow a couple of winters ago. We don't need to see any more. But previously, when we would schedule, especially if we woke up at 4 in the morning and it had snowed, we had to make those announcements. We would, it'd take a while to get everything taken care of. It's going to be much more streamlined here as far as making the phone calls, text messages, sharing with our website and social media and all. But, so far we've been pleased with everything. There's certainly a learning curve when you change over to a new product, and that's been the case here as well. But so far we've been pleased with what's taken place.
Mr. Weinberger, looking up there, just so that the community knows, you can post it on the website, our website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, live feed, SMS. What is VC?
VC is a voice call.
Voice call. So just from 12 months ago, it's amazing how we can
Yeah,
reach
really,
out in so
6
many
months
different
ago,
forms,
really.
yes,
Yeah.
with them. For a point of clarification for the community, we see your side of it and the connection and setting it out. As the default, if I were to download this on my device, the default would be Nacogdoches ISD as the main page that you would see, correct? So a parent
Yes.
would have to, and if a parent is out there and they have a child at Carpenter, they must click the bottom right corner and select Carpenter to get messages specifically for Carpenter, right?
Well, and they would do that on settings under the menu,
Okay.
and then they can go and select if they want the district level news or the live feed, if they want the Emmeline Carpenter, Nettie Marshall, whatever the case may be. And once again, if they get stuck on it, I really encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, and when you pull up our channel, one of the first videos you see that's there on the home page is this instructional video, and you can go through and watch it, and it's very intuitive to direct someone on what to do, to select schools, select which notifications they want to receive, that sort of thing. I'm sure there's very few of us, I'm one of them, that's selected notifications for everybody, because that does create some traffic flow problems on my home screen from time to time.
Wow, very nice.
Can I make a comment? I know you know how excited I am about this. I really am. I just want to point out to the public that once you have this app, there's several things besides the feed and notifications, but one of the other things that it offers is documents. And parents, I'm just got it pulled up here, there are 38 documents on the app. And so most of questions you have and documents you would need, this is a really easy way to look through what we have to offer and what we suggest that you use. I just find this so much easier than our webpage because it's just so streamlined. So I really like that. And you mentioned, though, that this is all NISD. And I've noticed, because I'm one of those crazy people that have everybody marked, because I want to see what's going on there. And I want to also compliment that all of our campuses have really stepped up with their Facebook pages. They have put a lot more on, much more often than they have ever before. And I know that's somebody working really hard at the campus to do that. So then on the app, sometimes it comes up on the feed and sometimes it doesn't. And what I'm curious about are meetings, like open house, things that I would want to know about, because I know of several parents who don't do Facebook. I think it's a religious preference or something, but they're really strong, no Facebook. And they have this, but they would have to check it regularly to know a notification about an open house, because that's not NISD. So you're suggesting that each of the campuses put out those notices, that's their realm, right?
Well, yes.
So
yes,
parents really need to communicate with their particular campus that this is an interest that they have, so that the campus itself will know, not just Facebook, but especially, because they have those meetings and stuff on Facebook. Is it complicated then for them to also do it on the app?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily complicated.
It's just time consuming?
Well, it's not even, I don't even know that time consuming is the right word, but certainly, they can add that step in to make sure it gets pushed out.
Yeah, if it's just adding a step, let's kind of get our mind around that, we do this, Facebook, do the app too, because this will reach even more people, yeah, those parents that want to get involved. Thank you so much, Les. This is
you're welcome.
Exciting addition.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That ends our reports. At this time, I'd like to ask any of the board members if they would like to make a comment or anything something they would like to say.
I'd like to thank all the NISD's employee and those who are affiliated and their families to have a sunshine day, well temperature, and good Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd like to say, kind of ditto to what Coach said. You know, it's the season of giving thanks for everything, and we've been given a blessing by our community, and we saw the evidence of that tonight. And what's kind of funny about that is a memory came up in my Facebook today, where I posted where my daughter sent me a text from her classroom, and she said, "Mom, it's literally raining in my classroom." That is what our community took care of. They took care of our children. They took care of our teachers. They gave them an environment where they can teach and an environment where our kids can learn. And having been the mom of that kid, thank you. Thank you for trusting us, and thank you for supporting. So on a different note, though, I do want to say thank you to all of our NISD teachers and our staff, our employees, our bus drivers, our everybody. It takes everybody to make this work. If you're missing one piece of it, if you're missing nutrition, if you're missing the bus drivers, you don't get the whole package. The kid doesn't get the whole package of what we do. And so thank you for surviving COVID, the snow, the floods. Thank you for sticking it out. It's been tough, and I appreciate it, and I just want you to know that from my heart. I appreciate it. That's it.
Go ahead, Doctor. Go ahead.
I want to thank all those present here and your patience, and all those online listeners for your interest, your input, and your support. Now, a couple of Perrys, two of them. Coy Van Valkenburg is the CTE director, and we have a former student that's named Perry, and he's studying masonry along with our students. The other morning, he was out there with the trowel, and they were mixing up the stuff, and hands-on. There were over 50 kids there at 8 o'clock in the morning, so that was really good. There was more. Mr. Perry, I don't know his first name, but he's a graduate of NHS. So we have a lot more involvement of that lately, and we thank those that are coming back. And now Victoria Perry is in charge of theater at NHS, and she had a play in a play, so that was quite interesting. If you're not interested in theater, you should just be interested in what's going to show up next, because somehow she snuck in a Russian accent from another East Texan. Last, Rooms and Spaces, Dragon Professionals, thank you, and don't grow weary in doing good, because you're doing a good job.
And I'd like to just say, you know, I look at the audience, and I look at some of the administrators and familiar faces that I worked with when I was with NISD. That tells me your commitment to NISD and to our children in this community, as well as our new staff and our new administrators. You guys have worked really hard. Our job is not hard. Our job is to make sure that you guys have what you need to do what we need to do for our students. For me, it's a privilege to sit up here. It's a privilege to know each one of you, and it's a privilege to be able to do the things that we need to do for our kids. And for that, take some time for Thanksgiving. Spend it with your family. Enjoy your time. Be careful on the road, and hopefully you won't have to pay too much for a big turkey. So thank you so much for what you guys do for our children. Anybody else?
I like being last because everything's been said. But I do want to point out for your notice, in case you didn't notice, when we say NISD employees, we mean everyone. And we are well aware that it takes everyone, food services, transportation, custodial, and teachers, office staff, administrators. And just like Mr. Montoya said, our job is easy because we just get asked to, they've done all the work, this is what we need, and we look at it and go, okay, go with it, But you're the one out there actually doing all the work to make it possible. And we really, truly thank you, and pray that you have a very restful week so that you can come back before Christmas horror.
And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Okay,
I'll second.
so be it. Thank you.